Everybody know my name when I come through. Don't nobody screaming like you. I was having visions with you, doing things, switching lanes in the beamer with you. Been swimming in deep water, save me from my sorrow. Okay, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we're gonna take it easy today. All right. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Go, 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 go. We should start this video over, huh? I guess it's okay. We'll just run it and we'll just cut it up because I was listening to music and stuff before. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. So have y'all liked the video yet? I was giving y'all time to like the video. Go ahead and do it now. So we start off. We start off with Bangkok, and she is saying Kenya doesn't realize the damage that she caused. She tried to publicly humiliate me in front of 200 people. The salon she dedicated to her kid. She planned it to ruin my reputation and her business, she said. I'm explaining this to y'all for y'all that don't watch. So this is what's happening between Bangkok and Kenya after Kenya showed her down there with cocks in her mouth. This is the fallout afterwards, and I really hope they don't go past this episode talking about this, because this episode, it was actually pretty good, but the end, girl, I was like, ooh, y'all got to get this girl up out of here, because I'm like, okay, so if Kenya is the problem, why is she now in this altercation, this verbal altercation with Angela, like literally snarling. She was literally like looking like this. She was snarling at Angela. I'm like, girl, I could see why nobody likes you. Because she's literally, like I said this morning, a self fulfilling prophecy. She has this idea that females don't like her. So she creates that, whatever it is, she creates it in her head and she acts on it. That's very dangerous. I would say it was a level of psychosis where you come up and make up some shit in your head and then you're acting on it. Girl, then she says she's getting calls from her clients. She says she might lose her license over this, her insurance, her license to sell insurance, I guess.
I just, girl, stop.
She says that in her teens, she made a video with her boyfriend and then she did webcam in her early 20s. She said, I was hurt. She was said that she tried to humiliate her. She said she tried to wipe everything off of the internet, but obviously Kenya has, I guess, some folks got a hold of it. You can't really, you think the crazy part is people think that they can wipe stuff off the internet, and it's not. It's never gone. I told you when I went and found my old blog from 10 years ago, didn't I tell you? I was like, let me go see if I could find my old blog. There it was, just like it had like formatted everything. Like I was like, oh, because I had thought I lost some information. Like there was like a couple of blog posts that I really liked that that I didn't have anymore. And when I was able to get it out of the archives, girl, the internet archives, girl, everything is there. You ain't nothing gone. Everything is there. So if the girls really wanted to find Bangkok Edie's pictures of her back in her day, the internet is never wiped. You think it is, but it's not. Kelli comes over and they have IV therapy. She says that when she experienced Kenya, that it's nothing like that with me, that she doesn't have the same experience with Kenya. And what's crazy is the people who have problems with Kenya, they're just like, oh my God, she's the worst. But the people who are not on, like who are friends with Kenya, they have a totally different experience. So to me, I would want to be on the French side because I've seen how she acts. Like you've watched the show, you're using her catchphrases. You even told Angela at the end that you could twirl out of here. Girl, Drew was like, that's crazy as hell. And now you know that you're among a fan. You are literally among a fan. Um, you should know how Kenya responds to people who have problems with her. We've seen it over and over. The evidence is there. Kenya's Yelp reviews are out there too. So to me, you coming on the show, deciding that you wanted to feel rejected, deciding that this woman had a problem with you, and you created whatever narrative you created in your head, no matter what the facts were of the situation. See, that's why you can't really go back and forth with somebody who is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, because it's like they literally have it in their head that this lady had a problem with me. She was saying, Kelli was saying, the salon is there, to to beautify women, to make you feel good about yourself. It's a space that you're supposed to, uplift each other and empower each other and make, feel beautiful in that space. And what she did was just, what she say? Distasteless. Come on, distasteless. It was distasteless. Does that, since that's two negatives, does that make it, does that make it tasteful? Come on, distasteless. She said it was distasteless. Um, Bangkok said that she was triggered, and that Kenya has been poking her since the moment she met her. That's what she said. And when I tell you that, that something is not right, because some of us we've agreed, a lot of the viewers have agreed that production does not like Kenya Moore. So for me, I'm thinking to myself, if this woman is making all of these claims about how she was triggered by Kenya, how she had a problem with her when she met me, there's no evidence of that. Where's the evidence? Where is the montage of Kenya hazing and provoking and having a problem with her and poking her since the moment she met her? I would like to know. I would really like to know that.
I want to know that. Okay. I really want to know that.
Because, like I said, we all agree. A large portion of us agree that somebody at Truly Original does not like Kenya Moore. So if there was any evidence to prove what this woman is saying, I believe wholeheartedly, I believe 100%, if they had the footage to support this lady's crazy idea of what she was experiencing with Kenya. Like, this is literally something that could be like, this is what happens, how people literally make stuff in their heads and act on it. And then we'll try to get everybody like, you don't see it? You didn't just see what she did to me? I was like, "Oh, okay, this girl, it's getting crazy. It's getting a little, it's like it's off. It's really off. It's sad, and sad because she really created a problem. And from what people say, that when they are in friendships with Kenya, they really have a good experience in their friendships with Kenya. I haven't heard people. Claudia is in the comments this morning. I said to myself, I'm not going on the blogs. I'm not going to Twitter. I'm not going to get wrapped up real quick because I want to come down here and give my review after what I saw and my notes and my, comments about it as I was watching it. I said I didn't want anybody, but I opened Instagram, and I don't remember who the blog what the blog was, but Kenya, it was a clip of old girl at Watch What Happens Live, and Claudia is in the comments defending Kenya. Claudia Jordan defending Kenya, saying, "Girl, bye. You're triggered by somebody asking you about a ring. You're triggered because somebody didn't give you a hug." It's like a man in a club. It's like literally a man in a club who buys you a drink, right? Who asks you for a hug. And now all of a sudden he's getting weird. And all of a sudden he's critiquing how every interaction that you have. And this now she's expected to have a physical contact with you because now you're bringing attention to it every single time she's around, to these hugs that you want. Like you're one of those can I get a hug niggas, like Yam Academics, like Jason Derulo, like Nick Cannon, all of them can I get a hug niggas, Trey Songs. That is how you are. And you got rejected and you behaved irrationally based on something that really didn't exist. When somebody acts on something that doesn't exist, that's nuts. I'm sorry. That's because it doesn't exist. Because if it did exist, we would have been able to see it. And I think everybody can agree because somebody said this morning that, yeah, Porsha said that Kenya didn't fuck with what's-a-call-it at the beginning, probably because of what happened leading up to that. Yeah, she didn't fuck with her, but leading up to that, it was just very regular interactions. Nobody even got the impression that Kenya didn't like her. Nobody thought like, "Ooh, Kenya doesn't like Brit." Nobody thought that. I've watched people's reviews. I haven't heard one person say that Kenya was coming off any kind of way towards the girl. So if you're the only one and you're acting on that, like in a hostile, violent way to the point that you're threatening somebody, you really felt like whatever she did took you to the extreme of having to threaten her with a firearm and try to intimidate her. And you did a good job intimidating her because Kenya was not saying a word. She did not engage with you. And I think I hope to hear her say that I didn't engage with her because I didn't know she was unhinged. And she showed the same type of behavior at the table at the end of the episode. See, the crazy part about production, you might be the little production pawn, but they will set your ass up too. They need to produce a show. And so, just like they want to get the people riled up with Kenya being fired, they also are going to get the people riled up by showing you behave in a way that is unhinged. So, it's not just Kenya. You have a problem. You see how she snapped at Angela. I was like, oh, and everybody's reaction at the table was like, wait a minute, like, whoa, like, that's a lot. It's off balance to what the reality is. And why are you so defensive? Are you gonna go to your car and get your pistol? Because can we trust that she is able to maintain her composure again? Like it's weird. Anyways, so at Shamia's house, oh, okay, I need to keep this checked. Okay, so at Shamia's house, Kelli, Porsha, Drew, and Angela show up. They're all sitting around having, drinks or whatever, pouring champagne and stuff like that. They're just getting together, I guess, with the aftermath with the stuff that happened at the spa. Angela asks, she asked Porsha, why did she bring up Charles at the table? Porsha says that she was sorry, and that she was just playing with her. And she noticed, she was like, oh, we don't know each other well enough for me to play with her like that. Um, so she apologized for that. She was like, oh, when I saw you got as mad as you got, I thought to myself, oh, I don't know her that well. I shouldn't be talking to her like that. No, you shouldn't, especially with your track record. You another one. Drew came in. She hugged Kelli, and who else did she hug? Shamia. She did not hug Porsha. She sat down. She didn't hug Angela though either. So Drew was talking about how Ralph being in the house still feels like their family and divorce is tough. And Angela asked Porsha, does she feel that she's getting the support that she needs while she's going through whatever she's going through? And Portia starts her sentence with, I fantasize. I fantasize that there is a way for us to have a divorce and then even maybe come together, because we have, here she goes with that family shit again. Here she goes with the family shit. And then Porsha starts this talk to where she's saying that we have to come together because we have a family. And I put, you don't have a family with Simon. Okay, I'm not gonna, I can't stay too long on this because it's just not smart. Angela asked her if Simon were to call and say, let's just get back together. She said no, because Simon said something about her mother. And then they showed this clip of Porsha with a headline that says, moreover, Simon claims that around March 21st, 4th, Porsha, alongside her mother and her mother's boyfriend, executed a forcible entry into their marital residence. I said it down here, and I said that Diane got a man over there. Didn't I say that? I said that's why Porsha can't go back home, because Diane then moved them. I bet that there's a man living over there. I cannot remember what video I said it, because if I did, I would put a clip. I don't remember what video I said it in, but I know that I said that there's a man over there, and that's why Porsha can't move back over there. That's why she's fighting tooth and nail. I know she's happy as a clam that Simon is being detained by ICE, girl. I know she's happy. So then she says, girl, let me go down. Then she says, then Porsha goes on to say that PJ calls Simon Pop Pop.
Who are these niggas?
Why? Why would she have a nickname for this stranger? Why would you create a space where this man that is a stranger has a nickname, therefore dropping down some walls that should be up because he is a stranger and a man in your house that you brought in your house, and your daughter is sitting on his lap? Somebody go save PJ. Please go save that baby, because Diane got a man over there. Porsha is over here trying to stay in this man's house. PJ, girl, and then you got a daddy like Dennis, girl. Good luck to that child. But the thing is, this is what I was saying last night. When Porsha starts to try to squeeze tears out of her face, Shamia goes over there and tries to hug Porsha. And I don't know. I don't know. She says, she shares with us that PJ crawled up in the bed and was like, where's Pop Pop? And she said he's at work. No, he's in jail. He's in jail because mommy married a scammer, right? Y'all gonna have your kids on True Story. They're gonna make a true story about y'all kids. I said, I wonder how many men in her lifetime is PJ gonna call Pop Pop or Uncle or something like that. I wonder how many. Porsha, I don't understand that. I don't understand why there's not too many people like, that's weird. You had your daughter sitting on this man's lap. He's technically a stranger. You have her calling him by a nickname, which kind of lowers her guard, not like creating a space where he's not a stranger. Because why does he have a nickname? Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. She said she texted him and something about PJ. We have to get together because we're family. Girl, you are not family. I want a montage of Porsha and this thing where she says, like, she literally has a chip up her ass on what she says about every single man she's in a relationship with. This fantastical Mr. Toad wild ride idea that she wants out of a man, but she goes and she gets with men who have like low character. You get with men with low character, and then you're expecting this family. He's going to protect me. He's going to provide for us. He's, we're so, he knows what we've been through together. I was like, girl, okay, Porsha. Drew said something about her being related to Michael Jordan. And then Porsha and Shamia started slapping hands, talking about, we got to get you over there with the Jordan. It's almost like, it's like, it is like a It is. It is like a whore. Like as soon as y'all see a man with anything shiny, it's like you're like, "Ooh, let me go over there." It's so stupid. And I know it was just a joke, but if they were able to get access to Michael Jordan's yellow eyes, they would be over there. They would be over there up underneath. You see, she was locked in a room at R. Kelly's house. So Porsha has like a weird relationship with men. And Jennifer Williams, she's another one. She's another one. Kelli is doing yoga with her daughter. This is another one. This was actually a pretty good scene. She's doing yoga with her daughter. She gets an alert that her something having to do with her ex-husband in court, and he's child support, he has to pay child support, something like that. Something's going on. I didn't catch all the things that he was supposed to be doing. He basically doesn't want to have a relationship with the older daughter. The older daughter is not his biological child, even though he's been in her life. Oh, let me make sure this is on. Anyways, so um she's been in his life, or he's been in her life since she was 2 years old. So she literally considers him her father. Like it's really a stark difference between um Porsha and Kelli with their daughters and calling these men fathers. Like this girl's like 17 or something like that, 16 or 17. Did she just have a birthday? 16 or 17. So she's calls this man her, I'm sure she can call him her father, but you see how he's acting with her after he's basically raised her. He doesn't want to have a relationship with her anymore. Like he's not trying to maintain a relationship with her. She says, the daughter says, "Oh, he wants to have a relationship with the other girls." Um and then you have PJ over here just after 6 months calling some man pop pop and sitting on his lap. I don't know. I don't know why y'all go up for Porsha. I don't know. She's just like, the whole package is just weird. Like the whole shit is weird. She wants her daughter to want marriage. She wants her daughter to want marriage. She doesn't want her daughter to look at what's happening with her and this man and that discourage her from getting married, because she says that um she saw her she saw her in the shower crying or in the closet crying. She was doing a lot of, she lived, sound like she was living in that closet. She had to hide from him in the closet. Remember she just said that? I hadn't tasted this yet. It's tasty. She said she didn't want to end up like her mom. She didn't want to end up like her mom. She doesn't want to end up like her, like in relationships with men. That's what you it's not that you don't want to end up like your mom. You don't want to end up like your mom in those kind of relationships. The way she showed up in that relationship, the way it went, the way she handled it, it's like your mom was actually reacting to treatment or mistreatment. So it's not that you don't want to be like your mom, because like on the other end, your mom has created a business. It's sustainable. It's She's doing her thing. You live this good life because your mom is focused on, she's doing her thing. You say you don't want to be like your mom in relationships. And then you also have to remember she was in relationships with people. You can't control how other people treat you. The only thing that you can do is, once they mistreat you, is to cut them off and to not deal with the mistreatment anymore. So the fact that, I don't even know, she looked like she's leveled up herself since she was married, but he looked crazy as hell. So I don't know how that union came about. I don't know how they met. She didn't really talk about that. But he sounds like a maniac. He sounds like a maniac. He sounds like he is another unhinged man who cannot accept rejection, like Bangkok, an unhinged man who cannot accept rejection. And once the rejection is in the form of a divorce, he wants to burn the town down. That's what it sounds like she's dealing with. And to me, I would reiterate to, like, I wouldn't say, "Oh, I want my daughter to want marriage." No, I want my daughter to have mutually beneficial relationships that are dealing and flowing in reciprocity. I don't want my daughter to, you know, desire marriage just to any old man, right? I don't want that for my daughter. Nobody wants that for their daughters. Nobody. 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 So, it was a good conversation, little short conversation, but you need to tell your daughters the truth about men, right? um if that's their choice of who they want to partner with, if they want to partner with men. But you just also have to let them know what they're going to come in contact with. You don't It's not to say don't have the experience, because at this point it's a rite of passage. You're going to have to some, like I said, some learn from the experience, some learn from watching others. Some people look at the women going down that particular path and they're just like, ooh, yikes. They look crazy when they come back. I don't want to go down there. Some people are curious. They want to know what's over there. And then they come back looking crazy, look like they just got out of a blender after dealing with a weird man. And some of you even marry them and you find out, damn it, now it's really hard to disconnect, to untether myself. It's been difficult to untether myself from these weirdos, especially if you acquire some assets. I wonder if she has a prenup, because did they start off like that? Because he acts like keeps saying that you would be nothing without me. Isn't that what Gregory is telling Quad? Mm, interesting. You see a pattern. Drew and Ralph, it's Ralph's weekend. Her and her sister are getting ready to leave and go someplace. And because Drew has to leave the house. See, this is what happens when you connect yourselves, attach yourselves, legally bind yourselves to a person. How hard it is to dissolve that attachment. For some of y'all, it is so hard. Look at Kenya, how long she was in a divorce. She was in a divorce longer than she was in a marriage. And the crazy part of it is, y'all will do it again. I would not do that after having that kind of experience. That's what I'm saying. It's a rite of passage. Some people are curious, they want to do it. Some people do it over and over again. Some people, it takes a couple times to do it and they're like, oh, no, no, no. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And some people kept doing it and doing it and doing it. You got to be honest with the girls. Give them the tools that they need so they're not shocked or surprised by anything. The playbook has not changed. The niggas are saying the same shit they said 20 years ago to the girls, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. They're saying the same. They got the same rap. They got the same rap. So tell your daughters, warn your daughters, and give them the age appropriate truth about these nickels. Look at Drew. And so now she has to leave the house because it's Ralph's week or weekend or whatever. And it's also Father's Day. So this was last June. Okay. So he comes upstairs. She's eating with the kids, trying to have, I guess, a last supper, trying to have some breakfast with the kids before. Did you see her daughter playing for the cameras? Girl, she tried her in front of the cameras. She was like, why do you want to do that? Drew was like, what? Drew had to come out of character. Why do you want to do that? Oh, yeah. Drew actually looks really, really pretty with no like makeup on at all. I was like, oh yeah. She just had on like some lip gloss and just her face. She was getting ready to leave. She looked so pretty. I was like, look at Drew. She looked really pretty. And then she'd be all made up, but with a fresh face, I'm not mad at her face. Um, she's sitting she's sitting there eating with the kids, right? They're sitting down at the table. She's trying to have her supper, last supper, before she leaves and leaves, the house to Ralph for his weekend. Ralph comes up the stairs. Girl, 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 you should have a you should have like an electric, like a infrared thing. So if he comes up the stairs, you can hear something go off so that because the way that he snuck through, it's like you did not hear him at all. The way he tiptoed through that room, and she was like, oh, you're not supposed to be up here. Well, since you're up here, she was like something about the exterminator bill. So she's been paying the exterminator bill, but he's supposed to be taking care of all the bills in the house, protector and provider. You want to be a protector and provider, you got so much money, but now you got to stay downstairs because you don't have enough money to actually leave, do you, motherfucker? I'm telling you, ugh. Anyway, so she tries to tell him about the exterminator bill that they have. And he was like, well, you just can't pay that. And she's like, my attorney said that I'm not responsible for that. So see, that's why you need to have attorneys, and that's why you need not to legally bind yourself, so that when you want to leave you don't need an attorney. You don't need an attorney. I'm out of here, girl. Ugh. So he tried to start with her, and she was like, okay, I'm not about to do that. I'll talk to you later. And she just closed the door. And then like her sister was like, I don't even know why was he up there. She was like, yeah, that's weird. I don't even know why he did that. You know why he did that. The cameras are there. You know why he did that. He wanted to create hostility real quick in you. She wouldn't let him. She didn't let him. And he's gross. His pencil head he's so gross to me. She says that it's really hard co-parenting with him. It's been very difficult co-parenting him. But I feel like she was just saying like when they're in the house together, it feels like family. Girl, I don't know. It still feels like they're a family. I don't get it. I don't get it, but it's also hard to co-parent with him, I guess. So Shamia and is in the studio with RL. Shout out to RL from Next and Angela. And Angela is talking to Shamia, telling her that I saw the frustration in your face and I felt bad for you when Porsha acted like that wasn't your song, basically. Shamia was like, it was just disrespectful. People couldn't even hear the song. She says, you're supposed to be celebrating me and cheering me on. And what's crazy is we're actually being able to see Porsha's actions, right? We saw her first not even recommend Shamia for Housewives of Atlanta. It was Candy. Two, we know about the wedding, her not coming to her wedding, right? We know about that. We know about her sitting there while Phaedra starts a rumor, a lie about Shamia, knowing that Shamia is in a relationship on its way to marriage, which y'all love so much. So I'm not sure why you would sit there and not stop them, but whatever, we're past that. It's been how many years since that? But since then, we have heard so many stories about how Porsha doesn't really show up for Shamia, and we see it like her not even suggesting, based on the life that she has and that she's living, the lifestyle that she has, for her not to recommend her is some hater shit. That's some hater shit. For you to think that what you and Simon has would be enjoyable to watch versus this like real relationship that we see that's been in the pocket for what, 10 years. You thought we want to see your little hood love story? No, nobody wants to see that fantastical world of delusion that you got going on over there with the frog and the toad, girl. Yikes. So we've seen it. Now we saw the Rolls Royce situation, right? Her coming late and then trying, like, taking the spotlight. Oh, this is my girl. You hopping in the back seat before she can get in the back seat, girl. Get out of my car. Then we heard Shamia in the closet when she went upstairs with Porsha. She was like, I'm sorry, it's traffic and all this other stuff. So we're getting to see glimpses of Porsha in this way, and it's unavoidable. And Shamia keeps saying she's a people pleaser. Shamia, you're going to have to dismantle that because, girl, I don't understand. You just know her. This thing where you guys aren't best friends. You just have known Porsha for a long time. That's it. And this thing, I feel like it's really toxic. It is a toxic thing where some of us who have these kind of wounds, people pleasing, A lot of women, we're socialized like that. So some fall into that socialization, some don't. But those that do end up in relationships that are not reciprocated. You're not having a flow of reciprocity in the relationship. It's one-sided. You're running around making sure everybody around you, right, has their oxygen mask on before you do. And it depletes you, right? But you've known Porsha so long and she keeps acting like this. So it's almost like you pour into her, she only pours a little bit into you, barely, barely. So Shamia is going to have to work on her people pleasing, healing that part of yourself, because and that bigger person shit, y'all got to heal that. That's a thing that we are socialized, and that allows us to be doormats, be run over by people. If you hear yourself saying, I always do for you, everybody, but they don't do for me, well, then nobody tell you. People will allow you to keep doing for them and will not give you nothing in return. And it doesn't have to be something like a transaction in return, but just not having the support, you talking over the song while she's playing it, like stuff like that. It's like, that's not how a friend is. So y'all have, so we are taught to maintain relationships that aren't beneficial to us, that do not serve us. That's abuse. And it can turn into, like, luckily she's not in a relationship with a man like Porsha, because that people pleasing, where I feel like she's doing a people pleasing where you're putting like women's lives at risk to give your husband a son. That's another thing that we can talk about. I don't think anybody really wants to talk about what Shamia got going on over there, but it is what it is. We focus on her and Porsha right now. You're supposed to be celebrating me and cheering me on. It hurt my feelings, everything that she has done. I've been her cheerleader. I need some of that energy when it comes down to things that I'm passionate about. She said she did talk to Porsha afterwards and she apologized. How many times does Porsha have to apologize? The behavior is not going to change because there's no consequence. You're still friends with her. Why should she change? You're just right there. A lap dog. Weren't you just sitting on her lap? I'm a proud lap dog. You're a proud lap dog, aren't you? Okay, well, that's crazy. And that was even crazy for you to even say that. Like, and the picture is out there with you like this on Portia's lap, like sitting there and her in the back. But what's crazy is she's not, like, Shamia encouraged Porsha to, like, she was encouraging that relationship with Porsha and Simon. So she's not that great of a friend either. Like, they're not friends. They've just known each other for a long time. She's not that great of a friend either, if you really want to keep it all the way 100. Because anybody who would encourage that quad, encouraging that shit with Porsha and Simon, y'all not her friends. Your mama ain't your friend either. Drew shows up. She said, it's no shade, but that was not your song. She said, I grew up singing. I grew up in the choir. I was in an R&B group with Carrie Hilson. So music is not new to me. And Drew was like, I totally understand. It's like your baby. Didn't I just say that in the other thing? It's literally your baby. This is something that you created. It's coming from your creative space. And you're like talking over me. It's crazy. I don't know. But like I said, maybe this is her opportunity to see what it actually looks like, because you're actually in it. Can't see it, but you know, because you recognize it because you're talking about it. But when you actually see it, like, I wonder how Shamia feels watching this back, like watching how Porsha was talking over her, like watching it back. You're in the moment and you knew it was rude, but now let's see what it looks like, how we see it. This really brings my confidence up. And Drew said, that's how I feel too. I feel like that. I feel like the way this is going with Dennis and the stuff, we're going to have royalties and we're going to be able to pay for PJ's college. And then Shamia, here is Shamia again. That didn't even require you to defend or to even correct her saying. It was light shade. Like, me working with Dennis is going to be like, what's going on with me and Dennis and these royalties and everything like that. PJ's gonna be, we gonna be able to pay for PJ's college tuition. Shamia was like, well, I just have to say, PJ's college tuition is paid for. Girl, why? Why do you feel the need? And I don't know if she feels sorry for her. That's why I be thinking that Porsha is like for real. Because the way that people encourage her to do the things that she just wants to do, it's like almost like, you can't tell her anything. So just let her do what she wants to do. But you also feel sorry for her. So that's why you maintain a relationship with her, because you kind of feel sorry for her too. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Brisbane and her mother is sitting down there and she's like, I've been dealing with this all my life. Women not liking me, females not liking me, running around saying that women don't like you. Like, when I tell you, those are dangerous women. Like, literally, it's like we talk about this down here all of the time. And now we're seeing an example of it on our reality show, where the women who run around saying, I don't have a lot of female friends. I don't have a lot of female friends. My sister had to come up to the school and fight the females because the females were against me. You see it? Right. So those women are dangerous. They don't like women. They do not like women. And that's why her behavior, like when I said her behavior is like a man, like whatever perceived rejection, you literally created a scenario in your head and acted on it and threatened gun violence because you were rejected. You didn't get a hug. That's crazy. That's crazy. Your behavior is crazy and you started all of that over nothing. Nothing. Your behavior was not in balance with reality. It was not. It was not. It was irrational. It's like, girl, what is going on? And she exhibited the same behavior at the peace brunch at the end of the episode. Her mother is sitting there talking about Kenya. Kenya is Miss USA. Where did we get it? Is that what it is? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, Kenya is Miss USA. You supposed to be helping the young girls out. No, they mamas is. They mamas are supposed to make sure they not sliding under big fat ass niggas sucking sweat from underneath his titties for a little bit of change. That's what they mamas are supposed to do. Yeah. You had your mama. Kenya didn't even have her mother. You had your mama, and look at you. Look what you had to do for a little piece of change. Look where your life, your road, the road you took, and your mama was right there. Kenya didn't even have a mama and was crowned and sashed Miss USA 1990 motherfucking 3, bitch. And what she's teaching the girls is, when a bitch comes for you, you back her ass up off of you. That's what she's teaching the girls. And those who know. The girls who get it, get it. That's how you back a bitch up off of you. Fuck with me. You know I got it. And since you're a fan of the show, you should have known that that's probably not a person you want as your enemy, right? You have to be careful on who you choose as an enemy. That's like literally the art of war. You be careful who you choose as an enemy. Some of motherfuckers love it. They love it and they go hard and they go nuts and they get as irrational as you. They'll make you cry over something you claim to be okay with. That's just my past. That's just my past. She literally sprayed you with your own tea and you over there crashing out. And then you and your mama sitting up there looking like a cookie jar, sitting up there talking about that's Miss USA. She's supposed to be empowering the girls. No, empowering them to back bitches off of them. That's what the girls learn from that. Fuck with me. Fuck with me. That's what she's teaching the girls. See, let's see what you taught your daughter. She was up underneath Rick Ross for a time in her life. Sucking his titties for a little piece of change. Yeah. Porsha and Dennis. I don't know what she was talking about. Something about a divorce and co-parenting relationship with Dennis, and so she's extra protective. Girl, I don't know. Porsha and Shamia go play golf. They talk about they want to grow their family. She has a 30% chance. Porsha created an embryo with Simon.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep.
Girl, what? Did he send a cease and desist on that? She was like, you loved me once. Did you hear Shamia? She's like, how could he do that to you? He loved you. He did not love you. You both, I don't know why you got married. That's the problem that I have with it. You both were using each other. The vase, Fallon, was just a pretty vase. She was just sitting there. She wasn't doing nothing, no personality, no charisma, no drawing in factor. He saw you. You love this flash. Though I don't understand how you have 32 teeth on one side of your face. But you flash that smile, baby. And he knows how to get you like a little puppy, little ring, ding, 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 ding. And a little puppy sees something shiny and golden and they go running over there, letting their daughter sit on your lap. Girl, that's insane to me. That's insane to me. When that has never been culturally, that is not even okay. Everybody tells their daughter, and they don't tell the boys, but I know I've been told, and I know you've been told, and you 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 don't let your daughter sit on nobody's lap. Nobody. She's like, she's at war with her influencer husband. If absolutely you are. You both got with each other. You basically, it was like almost like Pretty Woman for an extended amount of time, but you got married. You were supposed to get with him, Pretty Woman and Can't Buy Me Love, where the pretty girl gets with the ugly man, gives him some serial number teeth, makes him attractive, gives him more what they do with all these dating shows, pushes him out to the front so other women could see him, right? Give him some space and some light in the Atlanta social scene, even though he already had it, because all of them be going on trips. Sheree, Quad, they all know Simon and that whole little crew where they be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I don't know why you looked at Fallon and didn't believe that you were going to have the same experience and worse. You got married to him, had your daughter around him, have your daughter calling him a nickname. You whack. You are whack. You've been whack. You forever going to be whack. You are whack. I don't understand the appeal of Porsha. I don't get it. Porsha calls in sick. They're going to have a peace brunch. I love that Kelli said, take everything you need to take, but don't take nobody's man, girl. So I'm glad somebody's giving it to her. She's like, oh, girl, you are shady. Porsha was sounding like she had been screaming. Porsha's getting sick. So does she get paid for this? Was Porsha in the, oh, Porsha was in this episode. So she didn't come to the peace brunch. So she goes, so she calls and lets Kelli know that she's sick. They have seating arrangements. Kelli tells Shamia, you're sitting in between me and Kenya. And she was like, what? She was like, Kenya's ghost. She just started laughing. She busted out laughing. I like Kelli. I think she's funny. She has good timing. I think she's funny. Her little jokes and her little shade, is funny. Kelli gives us an update of her husband, says he owes $10,000 in child support and he's only made one payment. She's saying that it's very hard to see stuff about her in the blogs. It's hurtful. Basket Case shows up and she says she doesn't know what to expect from this group of ladies. And she asks, where's Porsha? They all sit down. Angela's there. Drew is there. Drew looks cute. Angela, of course, is hot again. She says she's not going through perimenopause, but you are, because you keep complaining how hot it is. I don't know if you're nervous. I don't know, but you keep talking about it, and it's okay, because the generation of women are going through that. So that's the conversation that these generation of women are having. Y'all not young anymore. It's okay to say, I'm going through the change of life. I'm being taken offline. And you're being taken offline. Unfortunately, some of y'all being taken offline, you don't have any wisdom to impart. But the most of us are being taken off of line because now we impart the wisdom. right? Okay. So they ask, where's Porsha? And they ask her, how are you doing? Right? Brittany comes in. Is her name Brittany? I don't even know what her name is anymore. Girl, Bangkok comes in, and everybody's sitting down, and she said, I feel the hardest part is behind us. And Drew, did you see Drew's face? Was like, what the fuck is she talking about? Kelli says that the brunch is for Basket Case, and that she wants everybody to come and support her and to know that she's being supported. And she says, I know some people have talked to Kenya and they hurt her feelings, and now it's time to hear about your feelings. She's like, oh, you guys talked to Kenya, you got to see how Kenya felt. And everybody's like, yeah, right, because Kenya is, they know Kenya. You don't. You've only seen her on your television screen. That's why you act in the way that you're acting, you weirdo. Fucking weirdo. That bitch is weird, bro. I don't care what y'all say. And this is why I feel like there has to be some type of screening process to make sure, right? Like maybe ask questions about the housewives that they're, but like, what do you think about Kenya? What do you know about Kenya? What do you know? Like, what housewives shows do you watch? And then what do you think about the most polarizing character? And if they have like a negative view of that person, they shouldn't be allowed to come. Like, like the woman who was messing with Mary Cosby, she shouldn't have been. What was that lady's name? I don't even remember her name. She shouldn't have been, that racist Asian lady. She should not have been included in this group. She had very harsh like energy towards Mary, very mean, angry, aggressive, bigoted energy towards her. She should have never been allowed on that show. And then here comes, and the next time they come around, here comes Monica Garcia. She has a blog on Instagram talking shit about the people that she's supposed to be in a friend group with. It's like, and then the fact that people go up for her, it's almost like, ooh, we got a mole in the group. We have been able to get a couch surfer to infiltrate the group, right? And so everybody now, of course, loves this person who should not be in this environment at all. They should not be with this friend group. They don't like a person in this friend group, when even this person like Kenya, her last season was not, she wasn't the villain. And y'all like wanted to make her the villain again. She fell right, and she fell right into it. And here are the consequences. But let's talk about you now. Let's talk about your consequences, because you started all this shit, bitch. You started all this shit. They were able to talk to Kenya about her feelings. Oh my God. That's why I have a wall built up. Did you not see what Kenya just did to me? Like, are you kidding me? She says her husband, her business, her license. And then Shamia goes, yeah, she mentioned that her license is in jeopardy. Like, she's going to lose her license. She was like, yeah. And Drew said, what? And then Angela said, based on what? And then Basket Case says, what do you mean based off of what? What, are you confused? Like, haven't you seen what's going on? And everybody's like, girl, what? Like, are you okay? Like, she literally started chopping Angela's head off. Like, she literally snapped at her. I was like, this girl is crazy. Angela said, where's that energy coming from, girl? She says, I have a license as well. And in order to lose your license, there has to be cause. I'm just asking, what was the cause of your license being in jeopardy? And Angela says, as a matter of fact, let's be honest. The same energy that you have today for me, this is what basically she was about to say. This is what I'm talking about. Like, what your behavior is off. This is supposed to be a peace brunch. We are here coming in peace, and you're coming with this hostile, angry energy. And you just ate me up. And she says, but you failed to take responsibility. She's like, read the room. She was like, no, but you're like not taking responsibility for your actions and what led up to this. And that's the problem. Nobody is talking about the actions that led up to this. This girl has a an experience that nobody sees that she has. So you made it up. You made it up because you wanted to have a problem with her. You wanted a moment. She gave you a moment. She gave you several moments. She actually made her moment your moment and showed you in a compromising position. And I'm just like the gun threat didn't mean anything. Dick sucking pics don't mean anything. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? It's not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. I mean, she didn't show her down there like taking it up the ass. She just showed her sucking dick. We've all sucked a little dick before. It's no big deal. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Right? The gun threat's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So the new pictures, not a big deal. Not a big deal. See how ridiculous it is? Yeah. She says, read the room, read the room. You're acting a little slow. She says, read the motherfucking room. I'm sorry. You're cussing at me now. Are you going to go get your pistol?
I was say, really?
Oh, what you gonna do?
She says, you're acting a little slow. She says, no, you like to throw rocks and hide your hands. She says, my hand is right here. My hand is right here. She's saying, yeah, where's your band? She's like, oh, so you're on Kenya's side. So they end up swapping seats. She was like, me, Polly, and Esther will leave. That's what Angela said. She said, I thought this was a peace brunch. Angela said, I thought so too. I think Drew said that. Somebody said that. And so then Shamia goes, well, then now I'll ask the question. I said, I know that's right. Since you want to create hostility around the question so that you don't have to answer the question. Once we get everything calm, now let me ask the question again. How were you in jeopardy of losing your license? So how did you come about losing your license? She says, so it's what's going on because of the backlash, the defamation I'm under investigation, and with an insurance license, you don't lose them immediately, but you're lying. Angela was just shaking her head. She's like, that's what I thought. She said, what was that, Angela? She said, I said, that's what I thought so. She says, how about you be quiet? She was like, I am talking. This is about me. Did you hear her? Again, here we are again. This is about me. She did the same thing to Kenya. Kenya said, I can get along with everybody. I can speak nicely to everybody. This is about me. She said it again. Like I said, the producers will set your ass up too, girl. Little pistol starter. She says, there has to be more than just a rumor. She says, would you like to twirl out? Would you like to twirl out? Drew was like, girl, what? That's crazy. You using Kenya's words? They were like, Kenya is for sure here. Kenya is here for sure. She said, twirl out, girl. I was like, this lady she's nuts. She said, oh, you funny. And then she was like, oh, am I? Oh, am I? Maybe I could be a comedian so I can make you laugh. Drew says, that's nasty work. And then she goes, yeah, it's nasty. That's why Kenya is not here. It's the nastiness of what she's done. And it seems like nobody wants to acknowledge it. And that's crazy as hell. No. We want to start at the beginning. You want everybody to ignore the beginning of how you started all of this mess. You started it. And I'm going to say, yeah, Kenya has taken responsibility, has taken accountability. She's even apologized down to the Tamron Hall show. She better not apologize again because you started that. You wanted a moment, she gave you a moment. While she had the consequences, you didn't get any consequences for yourself. And then Andy tried to clean it up last night, talking about we did an investigation. There's no way you could have done an investigation. How did you know she had a gun on her or not? How would you have known she had a gun on her or not? When was this investigation done? When were Kenya's concerns investigated? And while they were being investigated, why wasn't she suspended? So you're lying, Andy, and I don't know why. Maybe y'all don't want to get in a lawsuit or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. So there was it couldn't have been no investigation. How would you have known whether she had a gun that night? And then there's a clip running around of Basket Case talking about how she keeps a gun on her.
Every time, and I keep my pistol with me always.
Security that's at the gas station?
I only go to gas stations that have security there. I only go to the same gas stations if I'm in the city.
Yeah.
So that's
what y'all have. Y'all got Love and Hip Hop Atlanta 2.0. It's crazy. Drew says, I feel like she did take it too far. I don't agree with it, but I feel like you have to get to a point where you can understand that you were both wrong and you need to. She was like, I already admitted my wrongdoing. I don't feel comfortable wanting to be in the same room as her. And you threatened her with a gun, but you don't feel comfortable after she showed a gun in your mouth, showed a pistol in your mouth. I got a pistol for you. You want to see a pistol? It's not a big deal. We all sucked a little dick in our day, haven't we? So what's the big deal? What's the problem? The gun threat is not a big deal. Neither are the nudes. That's where we're doing. And it was so crazy is she threatening gun violence on the set is not against their policy, but showing nudes are against their policy. And it's so funny how Kenya Moore is the only one where this code of conduct is being applied, because Tom Sandoval from what's it called, Vanderpump Rules, he actually had a true RP case and was sued. Because I'm like, where's the warrant for Kenya's arrest? If you about that life, file the lawsuit. What did Claudia say? File the lawsuit then. When Porsha was like, you're getting into defamation, you're getting into defamation territory. What she tell her? Well, file the lawsuit then if you about that life.
Because this is going into slanderous territory.
So
you
file a lawsuit against me if you about that life.
File it. Press charges. Press charges on Kenya. You can press charges, and if it was really RP, girl, the state will press charges. They'll take them. If you don't want to, we'll do it. So go do it. Go initiate it. Go start it. Where's the warrant? So just like threats of gun violence is just like whatever. It's, girl, neither sucking dick. So that's how I feel about it. She called me an escort. Well, girl, Backpage is where the girls do the escorting. So I don't know. Craigslist. What girl, I don't know what they do. Girl. Shamia said we all have bad parts of us that we don't want anybody else to see. But I think if we focus on the positive and see more good in people, we can start working from there. And then they start fake dancing. I don't know where the music was coming from. Did they have music there? I didn't hear any music. They just started doing the electric slide. That's when I say that Shamia is corny. Let me read some of my comments. I really think it's gross that Shamia lets people wear shoes in her house. I do. I think it's so disgusting. Like you just brought the outside. Everything. Piss, shit, blood, dog shit, all kind of shit. Then from wherever you walked, now you just brought it and put it on your floor. Nasty. Nasty, 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 nasty. All right, let's read some of the tweets here. I like the conversation between Kelli and her daughter. I thought that was a good scene. And the sitting at the table, I'm glad that like we were able to see the girl like crash out again, like she was literally snarling. Her lip was all raised. I was like, girl, are you okay? Read the motherfucking room. Are you slow? That's what she told Angela. Because Angela asked her about her license because she was trying to lie. So you didn't think you were sitting at a table with anybody that was in the same industry. Dumb you. And now Angela's like, well, I was what'd she say? A loan originator. So I know how this license thing work. And for your license to be revoked or suspended, there has to be cause. So what was the cause? Wait, you don't see, girl. I'm just asking a question. You snapped at her in order to deflect. And I'm so glad that after everything was settled, Shamia turned right back around, was like, so back to the question. How are you in jeopardy of losing your license? So I said, so who was the disruptor of peace at this little brunch? And Kenya was nowhere in sight. And the fact that she said twirl, Like you were you studying? Like y'all don't think that that's weird? Y'all don't think, like, I really want to know, if does anybody not think that what led up to what Kenya did, that those events did not, were they in alignment with what reality? I don't know. I don't know. I To me it wasn't. Y'all let me know. Energy coming from with me. I'm licensed as well. In order to lose a license, there has to be cause. What was the cause? That's the question I asked. Brit, to be honest, this ain't energy. Today is for me. How? It's always been for you. How? This energy, this is a peace offering. You're not coming in peace. I just asked you a question of how did you, on what cause? And you just ate me up. I'll wait till you're done. You just ate me up. And you failed to take responsibility for how we even got here. But why? Read the room. Read the room. Why is she not here? Read the room. These ladies don't really have my back outside of my girl Kelli. They shouldn't. Have been speaking to Kenya. And they should. That's her back. They're friends. How do you guys expect me to feel? Read the mother. I'm reading the room. Whoa. I am reading the room. No, I'm not slow. You're slow because you like to throw rocks and hide your hand. But this is the woman who says women don't get along with her, and you can see why. Why is she going off on Angela like that? That was weird. That whole thing was weird. Kenya called you a peasant, so you threatened her. Kenya responded to your threat with your own history, and you felt targeted. That was the end of the episode, y'all. I hope it wasn't too long. I have a different time counter on here because I know it was all over the place. I was literally trying not to get myself worked up. I'm not getting myself worked up over none of this stuff. People have their opinions, people have their points of view, people have their perspectives, they have their biases, they have their unconscious biases, they have their need to hold on to. We can hold on to everybody's history. So if we can hold on to Kenya's history, we can hold on to Bangkok's history. Right? If we can go back and say Kenya deserved this because of well, Kenya felt like she deserved to show the girls pictures. The morality police, I feel like there's nowhere you can be in this because all of these women have done something weird, odd, something that you wouldn't do with your friends to each other. So it is what it is. Anybody, like, you like Porsha but you don't like Kenya. The way that Porsha moves and the way that she has shown up, the crazy part is, and then you're taking Brittany's side and seeing her perspective, even though there's no evidence of her perspective. Like, girl, where's the evidence of this woman hazing? After we come off like a literal story of a boy being killed from a hazing incident. Has anyone seen that? And then this thing where it's like, it's about me. Like, you want to be the center. You want to make it about you. And it's about me. Well, the question was about me. And here she is again. I'm glad. I think that when she was on Watch What Happens Live, I don't know if it was a contractual obligation. That's how I feel it was. But I feel like we're never going to see her again after this season because you're a liability. I would be shocked if she comes back for another season. You threaten people with gun violence. You create stories in your head to have hostility. And I don't know, maybe a producer would like her to be like a little pawn or a pet and run around, create conflict where there is none. But you can't seem to deal with the consequences of your behavior. You want everybody to see and deal with Kenya's consequences of her behavior, but you don't want to deal. Those are the consequences of your behavior. You didn't like it, did you? And now you want everybody to hold Kenya accountable. She's been held accountable. She's not working, and you're still here. You haven't been held accountable. So I think the story should remain on, how did this all start? And it all starts with your delusion. It does. And your self-esteem issues, Literally, anybody laying up under Rick Ross has self-esteem issues. Nobody is doing anything with that man who thinks highly of themselves. And that's the sad part, is that you portray, you've done everything changed up. Like, I literally would sue everybody if I came out of a surgery and I was talking like that. When you actually listen to her, she literally sounds like she has dicks in her nostrils instead of in her mouth. So that's what it sounds like, girl. It sounds like, can you breathe? It sounds horrible. It sounds horrible. I don't even know, like, anyways, I would sue everybody if I came out sounding like that after a nose job. And then y'all want to talk about, at least, you could talk about Angela's nose all you want. At least she don't sound like she got 2 dicks in each nostril. Okay? She don't sound like that. And the way that she popped off at Angela, I could see her popping off and saying something about Shamia. I have a feeling that whether you like Kenya or not, this girl is going to show you that you cannot be on her side. She's going to show you that her personality is trash and in the gutter. And then you are going to feel like, oh God, we fucked up. We jumped on this woman's side and she's a bitch of low character, all because we don't like Kenya, because Kenya pulled Kim Field's chair out. And you sided with a damn clown and a fool, and y'all are going to see it. That's what I'm saying. It starts off like this, but the story is going to unfold. And just in the next episode, she bites off Angela's head. For what? Because you tried to lie. You tried to lie. You tried to lie. And she caught you in your lie. And so now you mad and calling her slow. No, she's quick. You slow. You too slow. So, anyways, that was the end of the episode. Y'all let me know. I said, let her share her irrational thought patterns that stem from her low self-esteem, disguised as an inflated sense of self that makes it difficult for her to accept perceived rejection. You got to go. You are a dangerous person. Like, literally, if you were in a relationship with a person who created scenarios in their head and then created conflict with you over those scenarios, you would ask them to be admitted. You would. And a psychologist and a psychiatrist would probably say, yeah, something's not right with you actually acting on perceived, that nobody else, you're acting on a perceived, you're triggered by what? Andy asked her. Here, I just want to hear this and we're going to go. Andy asked her, like, okay, so what was the problem? How did that happen? Hold on, let me go here.
And I was wrong. Start at the beginning, because I think a lot of people don't understand, and I don't either. Why did you initially come after Kenya so hard? Like at the bank dinner, why were you so agitated with her? You know, I think people don't realize, or even like the ladies in our friend group, she had something against me since day one. So even with the ring comment, I felt like, but it couldn't have just been the ring comment. I don't think it was just the ring comment, honestly. Okay.
So what was it? So what was it if it wasn't the ring comment? Because it couldn't have just been that. For you to behave in the way that you did, for you to threaten her and to try to intimidate her, it couldn't have just been the ring comment. So what was it?
I think
this is a woman who has delusions in her mind that women, she doesn't get along with women and women have problems with her. So she believed that the prettiest girl in the room, the one who won the beauty contest, has a problem with her because females, I don't get along with females and females don't like me.
Something that was brewing, that there was a reason why she didn't like me. I felt like she was.
What was the reason, bitch? What was the reason?
You know what? She didn't say anything.
Did she say anything? Did she do anything? Nothing. So you literally reacted like that based on nothing.
But the fact that she was just so welcoming and so nice to ladies she's never met, and for me, I've never met Kenya. Okay. So I was like, why me? Why are you being nasty towards me?
What did she do to be nasty towards you? See, and Andy didn't keep asking her. I would have kept asking her. I want to know. So after the ring comment, what did she do? Because we don't have any footage of her mistreating you. And unfortunately, like, we had to suspend her because of what she did, but we need to know, why did you behave like that? And then through your investigation, why wasn't she suspended? Listen to the rest of this.
Okay. Did you have a gun that night? Oh my gosh. I never had a gun. Never had a gun? I never had a gun in my possession at all. Okay.
Every time, and I keep my pistol with me always.
Security that's at the gas station?
I only go to gas stations.
So your comments at the dinner, that resulted in an investigation. Obviously, weapons are not allowed on set. It was determined that you didn't violate that policy. So now, watching it back, why did you say it, and what do you think about it now? You know what? I still beat myself up. Just the fact that I allowed her to trigger me. So it's just, there's no excuse for what I did, for what I said. And I was the heat.
What were you triggered by? What triggered you? Rejection. That's what triggered you. Like a man in a club following a woman around after you buy her a drink, asking for a hug, asking for physical contact every single time she comes in proximity to you, believing that you're entitled to that physical contact. I think everybody understands. If you suspend your disdain for Kenya and her pulling out Kim Field's chair, you have to understand that what led up to that was completely irrational, and it made no sense whatsoever. You can't even say what triggered you. What did she do? What did she say? What did she do? But you say that you were being hazed and provoked. But here you say she did nothing. So what was she doing to haze you? Because you said in a statement that you were being hazed. What would she do to haze you?
Moment. I'm in a rough neighborhood. I'm always used to having my husband by my side, and I felt attacked, and I was triggered by Kenya, and I was talking with Kelli on the side.
You were triggered by Kenya. What? Her beauty? What is it? What triggered you, sweetie? You're nuts. And you cannot be on this show. Maybe another show. I don't know. But I don't know why I don't want her she can't. You need to go on another show to where when somebody asks you a question, you immediately want to bite their heads off. And then say that after you come at them crazy, them showing you sucking dick is worse. No. We're going to start at A, and we're going to stay on A until this girl, I apologize. No, you didn't get suspended. You have no consequences. I actually believe the consequence for her behavior is going to result in her not having her contract renewed. I think they're just going through the steps. Let's let her stay on for a season. Let her get her story out. And when it comes time to renew her contract, we just won't offer her a renewal. And that's it. Get her ass out of here. It's crazy. We got rid of Kenya how we wanted to, but get this motherfucking monkey out of here. Because she acting like a whole monkey everywhere. Jumping all over, screeching, snarling, everything, girl. Feed her and get her ass out of here. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. I really want to know. Put drums for Team Twirl and tornadoes if you really believe like this girl made this up in her head. Like, it was irrational. It was irrational response to something that you made up. Like, girl, you made it up. Like, we're literally having all of this happen because somebody made some shit up. It didn't have to happen like this. And if it was really investigated, you would have suspended her. Because Kenya didn't respond to nothing. She responded to a threat of gun violence. And that should have been handled, because that would not have happened if the threat of gun violence was addressed immediately. That would have not have happened. That all of that could have been avoided if you took the threat of gun violence seriously. Whether it was against your policy or not, the fact that that behavior could land a plane or shut a place of employment or a school down should be all the reason why she should have really been suspended and invested. Because the fact that Just that was your first argument. That was your first argument on camera. 3 weeks, 4 weeks into filming, and you threaten her with gun violence. A seasoned employee, and the seasoned employee gets reprimanded for responding to your threat, and you get to still film a show and still have a platform. They're gonna take your ass up out of there. I know this. I don't think it. I couldn't see them bringing her back. It wouldn't even make sense. Anyways, y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.